what's going on, guys? It is Chobo here, bringing you a tutorial in Pokemon Legends ZA. And what I'm going to be focusing on is the winning Pokemon battles, trying to get to that lucky number 1,000. This one is quite the grind, and I'm just going to show my favorite spot to get this, to grind battles. And there's other people out there who have made videos on this, and they have used the spot that spawns over here, which is kind of a nice circuit. I think I've seen people get 70 to 100 battles there, which is impressive. But this spot is a little bit easier for me personally because I don't like kind of grinding away on the bench and just resetting the bench until I find it, until I find the other one. And so this gives me another one to grind on. That way I don't actually have to use the bench. And two, this one's just a lot more straightforward. There's no buildings. You're just walking in a circle. You have a nice route. You're getting 8 to 10 battles per circuit. And I think it's just easier to kind of put on, a show, an anime, a podcast, and kind of turn your brain off and just go about it, because you don't really, like I said, you don't really have to do any climbing or anything. It's just really straightforward. And so I'm just going to kind of go ahead and walk you through kind of what I did. And so my main thing here is I have a Dragonite, like everybody else says. Just E-speed to start the battles. That's kind of your most important thing. You want to start the battles quick, and then kind of in between doesn't really matter. You kind of do whatever you want. But when you end the battle, you want to be running to your next opponent. And so the next trainer, once you do the route a few times, you'll know where the next trainer is. And then you're just ending your battle going that way. And typically I like these Dragon Rush or Earthquake to end the battle, just because those moves take about 3 seconds to get off, and within that 3 seconds you already run into the next trainer, and it kind of helps speed it up. So I'll go ahead and kind of walk you guys through that. So the day just started. I have 0 battles. My goal is 14 right now, and we start with this one right here. And really it doesn't matter. I think it's better to get in the battle as quick as possible, instead of just relying on, getting that first the first shot to start the battle, to sneak up on them. It's just way more important to get into the battle, I think. Alright, so now this one has a third Pokemon, so it's going to be most likely Megad. And so our goal here is to make sure we're going down the steps as we end this fight. So I like the E-speed and then Earthquake, and now we're running down. And it's dead, and we're halfway down the stairs, and there should be a trainer down the stairs. Let's see here. That's our first trainer. We'll kind of keep track of it as we go here. And so usually there's someone right here. Yep. And we're just kind of getting in there. And the timer doesn't go down here, so it really doesn't matter if you get caught off guard. I guess you can optimize it if you kind of want to spend as little time as possible, but even if you do that, then you're still spending the time outside of battle, so I think it's better just to get into the battle as quick as possible. Alright, and so now this one, we have a bit of a run here, and we're going to go down, and usually there's a trainer right around here. They're usually right there, and then he's here this time. And this one has 2, so we're going to position ourselves right after him. So right behind him, right here. And it just depends on if you want to or not. So we're going to Earthquake, and now we're running. You just hold it up. Because we're pointing the right way, we just hold up, and we're already going. And then, even though this is a good side, you can still E-speed. It doesn't work, but it still gets us into the battle quick. And then here, we're just trying to position ourselves for the next trainer, who's going to be right this way. And there we go. And now we're already pointed to the next trainer, and so we're going. Another thing to keep an eye out here is there's a trainer up this little hill on the right where he can see you, and it happened to me once where he started a battle from up there, so like right there. And there you go, it happens again. This is fine. Kind of cuts our route down a little bit, which I don't think it matters if we encounter this person here or where I normally encounter it. Again, we're running to the next trainer. Parasong is the freaking worst. Now 30 seconds later, we're going to randomly die. But we're running to our next one. Like I said, the goal is to get into fights here, so like I said, we're good just to run past him, get in the battle. We're kind of closer to our next stop already, and I don't really care about taking damage, since I think Dragonite's going to die from the Parasong anyways. You can see it going off around its head, and so we're going to have to heal it anyways. Not a big deal to take that early damage. And as you get better with the trainers, you'll understand kind of what moves work best for your route. And then here, I'm just gonna go ahead and get myself healed through this combo right here that she offers. And then the trainer that we fought kind of in between these last two, those ones always give you, that one, the one with the blue right there, those ones always give you something like zinc or iron or something to kind of increase your stats, so always good to talk to them afterwards as well. And like I said, it doesn't affect the time of the night, so talking to him isn't that big a deal. You maybe shave off a couple seconds. And there we go. So I think that is our 6th or 7th, our 7th Pokemon trainer. And that one's usually right here as well. And then we're going to come down this way. That's where we would fight this one usually, but they've already got it. See, and here we get the Calcium. And then we're coming here. Oh, I forgot to my Dragonite. Alright, so on this second one again, the trainer is going to be this way that we want to face next. There that one goes. We're at 8 now, and I think we have 2 more. So we're running this way. Our next one's right here. I've actually never seen it in this little spot there. Okay, we can't reach it, so just go in front. Now we're gonna back out. Oh my god. So our next trainer is gonna be over there, through this little doorway. And since these Pokemon are small and in this kind of crevice, we're just gonna come over here and wait for them to come to us. That's kind of what I like about this game too, is we have the Alpha Dragonite, and kind of harder to get in those spots, so harder to hit. Kind of makes it more realistic. Way better vibe, I feel like, personally. And then our last trainer is right there. Talonflame, I know that a Dragon Rush kills them off, so I might just be running away. Important not to get too far away, because you can run away from the battle. That's happened to me once. And then you have to go back and fight him again. And then from here, that kind of ends our first loop, and we're back to the front. And I only need 14, so I only need 4 more battles in order to get my Shiny Charm. And so it kind of doesn't matter to me at the moment to be the most optimized. again, we just restart our route. We've hit our 10. I'm restarting. Camera up. This EQ is going to take it out, and now we're already running down. And as you're running down, you're getting closer to the next battle. And kind of as you get used to it and get better at it, you're just it's gonna be second nature. And then this whole time, I'd be watching, you know, something to kind of help kill the time. There's our second one. So usually here, I think we want to kind of stay within a certain amount, a certain radius. I think there's trash cans down here that I kind of stay by. Yeah, these trash cans are here. Kind of stay right here. And then as this last one comes out, I think this is like for me, an E-speed into EQ, and we'll take it out. Now we're running away. And boom. We're at 12 already. 2 more, and we're done. And our next trainer should be around this corner over here. Right there. We're making our way into this little crevice behind to kind of get to our next spot, and just, it keeps going. And usually I can do this about 3 times before I start missing any trainers. And once you miss, I would say 2 in a row is when you should just fast travel back to the front. And it just kind of depends on where you miss them at as well. So if you're missing the first 2 trainers, I would try and run till, like, if you miss these first 3, I think if I got here and there was another one, I would fast travel to the front and then just do it the opposite way and kind of go the opposite way we originally went. All right, this is our last one, and then we'll get it. I think I ended the game at 250 battles, 220 battles, somewhere in there. I haven't done all the side quests yet, but I did do a lot. I did all of the side mission, not the side. I did all of the Maybell's quests, and there we go. We got it. Let's go. And yeah, and so let's kind of take a look at the hours here. Yeah, so it took me about, I would say 20 hours. I ended at like 55 hours, 51. And that was before doing all of Mabel's quests. So about 20 hours did all of Mabel's quests, plus grinded to 1,000. And I didn't really start hitting the stride until the end here. I was usually getting about 20 to, no, I was probably getting 30 battles a night in the Infinite Royale. And then until I got to this method here was my highest. I got to 50s, in the 50s somewhere. And then I think that was when I first found it too. And so with kind of continue here, I could probably get into the 50s. Probably the most I could see is probably the 70s. But this is just to add one more to the route. That way if you hate spamming benches like I do, then you can get this. So you're looking for this one or the other one, the other more popular one. Alright, thank you guys for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you guys know of any place that you think is better than the kind of this one or the main one that's out there.